So Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra specs and first look at the renders are something that we're expecting for so damn long. But now we have all the colored renders and marketing spec sheet of the whole Galaxy S24 series, and this is epic. And these are the color options. There is a violet color though. Finally, after a long time, like literally Galaxy Note 9 had it. They called it Cobalt Violet on the standard and the Plus model. There is Onyx Black, which is the replacement of the Space Black. And then there is also a much lighter color called Marble Grey, which is actually most close to the white on the Galaxy S24 series. And then there's gonna be the Amber Yellow color. It kind of reminds me of the Google Pixel 6 gold color, but it's really cool. And these are also the same color option will also be available for the S24 Ultra. But they will be named differently, like Titanium Black, Titanium Grey, Titanium Yellow, and Titanium Violet. And then there are going to be Samsung.com exclusive ones. Now, one thing I can clearly see is that the Galaxy S24 Ultra, as expected, looks almost identical to the Galaxy S23 Ultra or even the S22 Ultra from the renders, of course, because the real device has a lot of changes. And that's not the bad thing though, because this actually makes the design very unique and minimal. I mean, we are loving it anyway. But this time, it is also getting much more flatter from both the front, the rear, as well as from the sides. And we've already seen the live images, so it's kind of confirming that. The S Pen, though, has a slight bit of change. The button is slightly more wider, and you can't really notice that the bottom of the S Pen is actually flat this time, unlike the other two Galaxy Ultra models of the past. But that's probably it. And I don't think S Pen really needs that kind of huge improvements anyway, because it's already so good. But overall, the phone actually has a lot of improvements. Like at the front though, the front display is flat, but there is a slight curve, like a very tiny curve at the sides. And that's mostly reserved for the bezels. The actual display that you're gonna see or interact with is totally flat. And this is also the first time Samsung gonna introduce on a Note/Ultra model very thin and symmetrical bezels all around. And this is a big improvement. Now, not because we were wanting it, but it should have been there in the past as well, because the Galaxy S22 had even more slimmer bezels than the Ultra model at the same time, or the Note models before. So, and the same thing can be said about the base standard S24 and S24 Plus. They all have very thin and symmetrical bezels. And this is so crazy looking, isn't it? And they're also even more flatter from the sides than the Ultra model. But the camera redesign, it kind of looks the same as the S23 series, and as I said, I don't mind. And now we have the big thing. All the major specs are leaked, the official ones. So the first and foremost thing is the 6.8-inch screen for the Ultra model, 6.7 for the Plus, and 6.2-inch screen on the smaller Galaxy S24. And all of them have the same exact panels. This is the real cool thing. There is no differentiation between them. The dynamic AMOLED 2X panel, Quad HD Plus resolution for both the Ultra and the Plus. And the standard model will be having, and the standard model, because it is a smaller screen, it doesn't really need that much of resolution. It is capped at 1080p. Other than that, the brightness wise, all of them are getting an insane upgrade. 2600 nits confirmed. Insane numbers. This is a big jump even over the 1750 nits of the current S23 series or the S22 Ultra. But the same thing can't be said about the cameras on the standard models though. They're still gonna come with the 50 megapixel sensor, a main camera, and then they're gonna be the typical ultra wide angle and telephoto cameras. Don't really know if it's a new sensor or not, the 50 megapixel main camera, but again, it's just the same 50 megapixel. But it will be able to capture 8K videos, just like last year's models. But the change is coming to the S24 Ultra. It will have the same 200 megapixel camera, kind of, because it's actually a newer sensor. It's the ISOCELL HP2SX camera, which is a much more optimized variant of the ISOCELL HP2 camera found inside the S23 Ultra. And this sensor of its own is a big upgrade, even though the sensor size is still the same 1/1.3-inch sensor with 0.6 megapixel size pixels, but it's the same thing. But out of all the capabilities added to the sensor, I have already explained that in a past video, it will have one most interesting feature, and that is sensor crop. And this is to zoom without losing any quality. This 200 megapixel camera will be able to zoom up to 2x at a maximum resolution up to 50 megapixel, down from 200 megapixel max at 1x. And this is something that Apple has already showcased and Samsung gonna use inside the other cameras as well. And this quad telephoto kind of thing is gonna be on the marketing materials as well, where they're gonna show 2x, 3x, 5x, and 10x. Now, you might be thinking, Where is the 5x? Well, this is the big thing. This sensor crop feature that we're gonna see on the main camera will also be inside the 48/50 megapixel 5x telephoto camera. And we've heard that the camera will be able to capture 8K videos from that as well. It's really great because after all, it's more than 33 megapixels, so it definitely should capture 8K videos, and Samsung is gonna provide that. This 5x camera using the sensor crop feature will be able to zoom up to 10x at 12 megapixel resolution native. So it's still way better than it is on the current S23 Ultra or even the last year's S22 Ultra with the 10 megapixel 10x camera. And if you're thinking, well, space zoom 100x is still going to be there, it's going to be even better than the current models for that reason. So the 5x 50 megapixel camera is going to be the best thing Samsung has ever done. Other than that, the S24 Plus is getting 12 GB of RAM, 256 and 512 GB of storage options. S24 will come with 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of base storage, and they're going to be 256. Also, we have heard that they're going to be a 512 GB model as well. The Ultra model will start at 12/256, and it will have 512 as well as a 1 TB storage options. Battery-wise, the Ultra is not getting an upgrade. It's still a 5000 mAh battery, fast charging 0 to 65 in 30 minutes, according to Samsung's marketing material. Same for the S24 Plus. But it will have slightly bigger capacity, 4900 mAh, up from 4700 on the S23 Plus. The S24 also getting a small little upgrade, 4000 mAh battery instead of 3900 on the last year's model, and 0 to 50 in about 30 minutes according to Samsung. And then we have the other thing, aside from the typical IP68 rating on all of them. It's the titanium frame. I mean, this is gonna be a big jump because in terms of premiumness, durability and lightness, this is the best combination of both the aluminum and stainless steel, kind of, in terms of capabilities. It is not as heavy as stainless steel, yet it is much more stronger than aluminum. So in case Samsung make the phone heavier, they can make the phone more stronger. And if they want to have the same kind of rigidity as the aluminum models, then they can make the phone way much more less. But the Plus and the standard models are still going to come with the Armor Aluminum 2.0. Really cool. And the last thing, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chipset that will power this whole Galaxy S24 series. But there is a catch. In certain markets, the S24 and S24 Plus will actually be powered by Exynos 2400. But in markets like US and China, the whole series will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chipset. It has one prime core running at 3.3 GHz, 3 performance cores running at 3.15 GHz, and then there are going to be 2 more performance cores running at 2.96 GHz. And then there are definitely going to be the efficiency cores running at 2.27 GHz. And all of these things combined, the performance numbers are bonkers crazy. For example, we recently saw a Galaxy S24 Ultra for the US market scored 2,117 points in the single core test, and in the multi-core test, it is about 6,720 points. That's a big number. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think now? And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.